Spotify real quick too. What's up, everybody live? What's happening? About to get started up in 1 minute here.
So go get you something to drink.
Yeah.
Get you something to eat.
Get the popcorn.
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Because it's going down.
Okay, Spotify is good. What's up, Spotify? YouTube is good. All right. So, what's up, YouTube? What's up, world? Welcome to the 7th episode of Outside the Box with Seth Siyon, featuring Scotso and Tommy Green, as you see right here.
What's going on?
I'll explain you a little bit. You know, if for all y'all know about the show, we outside the box. We talk about things that you don't normally talk about. It ain't like the news, the lies, and all that bullshit. We tell the truth. We keep it real, and that's what it is. It's outside the box, Seth Siyon. And like I said, this is Scotso and Tommy Green, but this is a very special guest here that I'm honored to have on the show today. First of all, hold on, let me explain this too. Thank everybody for tuning in, and thank everybody for all their comments and showing love for the show and everything, because it really keeps me going and motivated to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say that first of all. Appreciate y'all. So Scotso, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Oh, by the way, this episode is called Code 2 Count Time.
Code 2 Count Time.
And if you've been there, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Go to your boat.
Yes.
So Scotso, let me ask, man. So how long was you incarcerated, man?
29 years and 8 months. Yep.
29 years, 8 months.
Yep. 29 years,
Tom?
8 months.
11 years, 8 months.
7 years, 8 months.
Sure, yep.
Hey, look, check this out, y'all. Me, 7 years, 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. So most of the time people talk about prison is always negative. It's always dark and So what I want to incorporate on this episode is the positive things that we got out of prison. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm gonna start with you, man. So what's some things that helped you evolve to who you are today when you was in there?
That's a good question. When I first entered the Department of Correction, I had no sense of direction at all. You know what I'm saying? From the streets, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My environment played a big role in me doing some of the things that I've done in the street. I didn't have to do it. But when you live around that stuff all the time, that's all you see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of put yourself in that environment because that's all you see, that's all you know. But when I entered the Department of Correction, and they said Class C life sentence, that began to make me think a little bit about what I need to do for myself, whether it was spiritually, mentally, or even physically. And plus, I left some kids behind. And at first I didn't think it was gonna be no hope, but there's a lot of old timers that was in there. They were schooling me on a lot of stuff, and they was telling me about hey man, you ain't here, man. You need to just try to change your life, man. You need to try to do this. You need to try to focus on this, focus on that. And I didn't want to, hoping that one day I would get out. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave the prison system the same way I came in the prison system.
Right.
So I began to stick around people that was, doing a lot of positive things in prison.
Right.
Whether it was reading books, whether it was working out, whether it was talking about things that could better myself mentally. When I went in with a 10th grade, 11th grade education. I took a lot of self-help classes. I took a lot of college courses. I built myself up mentally to be able to be the man I am today. And then I started connecting with people like Tommy, Darrell Clayton, William L. Moore.
So y'all was in there together?
Yeah, we was in the same camp.
Okay.
Yeah, the same camp.
Okay.
We didn't really, we knew each other, but Tommy was a kind of individual. He stayed to himself a lot.
Right.
And that kind of what attracted me to.
Right.
I got you.
Right,
because when you from the street, you be around a lot of people all the time. That's all you want to do.
Real recognize real.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I noticed that about him, I knew that, he was focused on something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like when I saw Will, I saw this glow, you know what I'm saying? I knew he was focused on something. And then by Darrell Clayton coming in and get me out of prison, on CV passes. We might talk about that later on.
Okay.
We might get to it, we might not.
Right.
But on this episode, but we know in the future we
Right.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
No.
you know, taking me out on passes and talking to him and going to different type of programs, you know what I mean? I wanted to change. I really wanted to change, man. And that's what really, really kind of helped me out to be able to change my life by being around the people around, because I was around so much negativity all my life. You know what I mean? I didn't understand positive. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand this way of life we're living.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take.
So let me ask you, like, when you was in there, like, did you did you get into it in religion, or like, you know what I'm saying, get into it with your spiritual stuff and anything?
You know what? It's funny you said that, because I was just sitting back the other day thinking about that, right? My grandparents, my grandmother was very, very religious. And you know, she believed in church. You know what I'm saying? But where I grew up in New York, half my block was Muslims and half my block was Christians.
Right.
So on Sundays I go to church,
Right.
and then on Fridays I go to Jummah service. So I had I had both. My grandmother was an open-minded lady. She didn't mind me going to the Islamic services.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's up.
Right.
That's
So
what's
on
up.
Friday I used to go.
Yeah.
So I had the best of both worlds when it comes to religion.
Okay.
So when I got to prison, I was looking for something, man. It seemed like I was lost. I was missing something. You know what I'm saying? So I went to church. I went to church. I used to sit in this little I used to sit up in the church, man, listen to the preacher. I used to cry because I thought everything was over with.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But there was no connection there. I understand. I understood what he was preaching. The message, because I grew up in that.
Yeah.
But it was no connection.
Right.
And then I met with some Muslim brothers that was at the camp, old timers. They pulled me. You know what I'm saying? I started going to Talim service. It was a connection. I found that connection.
Yeah.
I don't knock nobody way of life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all over.
Because my wife, she's Christian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what happened was I started going to Talim service more and more. But the funny thing I want to share with y'all, man, the first time I tried to fast through the month of Ramadan. Man.
That's rough for prison.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
Boy, the first time I ever tried to do that, I think I last 2 weeks.
Look, not to cut you off, but funny story too. Like, you know, I studied with Muslims at a point in time when I was inside.
Right.
And you know, out of a way of respect, during Ramadan, I would try to fast with them and whatever, you know, read the Quran how you supposed to. I would sit in on some of their readings or whatnot. And I used to fail sometimes too miserably with the fasting. But for consecutive days, like especially inside, because we already.
Like I said, inside is rough. You know what I'm saying? Like it's out here, it's,
but
you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But inside,
that's something I struggle with too. Go ahead.
But you know, and then the second, but I didn't embrace the religion yet. I was just studying with them at the time. I didn't take my shahada. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like. Actually, it wasn't a big deal because I wasn't Muslim. Well, let me rephrase that. You know, we always say that everybody's Muslim. You know what I'm saying? But the thing was, I didn't say la ilaha illallah. You know what I'm saying? That that Allah is my God. I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like religion wasn't a big deal at the time. And brothers be like, don't worry about it. Make sure you get it. You know what I mean? So the following year, I accepted the deen. You know what I'm saying? I became Muslim. I fast. It was rough, but I done it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, if I could do this right here, I know I could change. I could change. You know what I'm saying? If I could do this right, if I could sacrifice from eating from sun up to sundown, I could do this. It's nothing. And I've been doing it for 20-some years. You know what I'm saying? Just came off Ramadan. You know what I mean? But that was a big part of me changing. But the biggest part of me changing when I sat across with my grandmother and she said, "Where did I go wrong?" I think I did that on your episode too. I think I spoke about that on your episode. And she asked me, where I went wrong at? I said, "Mom, you didn't go wrong. It was me. Everything that I have done to end up in prison, it was me. It wasn't you. You was the best grandmother a person could ever have." And that really did touch me. You know what I'm saying? And it made me want to change.
So I say this right here, like, you know, people say you go to prison, right? My mindset, like, once I got in, was like, this ain't prison. This is spiritual camp. Because, you know, that shit is mental, man.
Malcolm X said that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know that, but like I said, like, I call it spiritual camp, and I just wrote a paper on it. But anyway, so, like, once I got in there, and like you said, like, I had to make a decision. I was like, as soon as I processed that Central. So I was processing. First, you know what I'm saying, got out of the counter, whatever, went to processing. And I sat there on the block, you know what I'm saying, looking around, you know, filling out the area, you know what I'm saying. I was like, how I'm gonna do this? It was like right there, like how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it this way, I'm gonna do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like probably like 15 minutes later, I heard church call, and I was like, "That's where I'm going."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So through that, like I say, like I started, I started out Christianity, but like I learned how to open myself up. Like I read the whole Quran.
Right.
I studied Hinduism, Buddhism, you know what I'm saying, like Jewish, all that. Like I studied them all, during my time. So like, I don't claim no particular denomination. I'm like, just open.
That's right.
And but I see the truth in all of it. You see what I'm saying? Then I also see the ego as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, what you were saying, like, you once you get there, you gotta make a decision.
Gotta make a
Like,
decision.
you either go this way or you gonna go that way.
No straddle fence.
So how did you feel when you first fell in?
It's funny, like listening to both of y'all explain that,
Mm-hmm.
and not just because we family, just a good friend.
Yeah.
We are family, really.
Right.
But it's funny to hear like-minded individuals that got put into prison that all had the same mindset when they first got in. Yo, I fucked up. I gotta get it right. I gotta do something different. I gotta make a change. And I think honestly that ends up being some of the best people that went through the incarceral system or whatever. So like you said, we both grew up together.
Right.
So we have very similar backgrounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our backgrounds are we come from good families.
Right.
Some at some points in time they were impoverished. We ain't never really had much of anything, but we always had what we needed. And we always had great family structure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we both kind of went wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that, I was glad to hear when after he got out and I talked to him was that he had that same mindset that, we messed up some great lives. We got to get it together and use this time to make yourself as best you can to move forward. And that's the mindset. When I got in, man, I knew I had messed up. Like you know my life better than anybody. I had it. I was good. I was the man. I had the chicks. I had everything that you could ask for. I had no reason to really do what I was doing, except lost. Following the street mentality, the street codes and all that stuff, and got caught up in some BS.
Yeah.
But man, when I remember my first days, like, man, I couldn't believe it. And I was saying, me and you have this in common. We were sitting as young.
Right.
He called his time in his 30s.
30, right, yep.
We went in, how
I
old
was
were you?
23 when I was
23. I was just turning 23. I was 22, turning 23 inside. So same time.
Yeah.
So again, we went in at young ages and knew that we had a long time. So a person like put in my situation, I got 12 years. 11 was the minimum. 11 to change the minimum. Because I got in a little bit of trouble, I ended up doing the 11 and some change. 11 was the minimum.
Right.
But I ended up doing 11 and some change because of write-ups, trouble, and all that stuff. But anyways, at 22, just turned 23, I couldn't even fathom my life at 30-something years old.
Right.
And I had to accept the reality that I'm going to spend all these 20s and part of my 30s inside. Right. Yeah. So like y'all, I knew I had to make a change, man. I had to do something.
It's kind
and
of.
I'll tell you something too. Like, not to interrupt.
I'm sorry.
Not to interrupt, but I'll tell you something too. Like when I want to key on the point. He said like when you meet people in there, like people think people in prison are like these scumbags and bad people. Man, it's not like you meet the most talented. I'm talking about most intelligent people in prison. Like it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? But you like you said, you go hard in the streets, right? And like we went to prison. Like I call it spiritual count because if we went hard in the streets like that, when we get to this level right here and go hard on that, the sky's the limit. You hear me?
And it's funny you said that because that's exactly what we did coming out of incarceration. We got our head and we touched down and we took off running.
Right.
Our plan is to help others that's in the same shoes that we're in.
Right.
We do reentry, we peer support specialists, community health workers. We doing it all. You know what I'm saying? Because we realize that the people that's coming behind us, they need the same type of help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That we needed when we was in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why not, give back?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm so keen and so how can I say it? So keen and so strong on reentry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my
because you know how it is in there, man. Like
man.
they say they reform you, trying to get you better, but once you get in there, they don't give a fuck about you, man. Like they don't care nothing about you. You can ask for help, cry for help. They be like, well, just go back to your bunk.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go back to your bunk.
Yeah, so it's like, and I think people don't really realize that, like people that never been or people that have people that's in there, like that shit rough, man. Like it's like you really alone when you have nobody. And you got to find yourself and you got to know yourself in there. Like that's just how it is.
It is. And you gotta connect with people, man. That's strong minded. That's willing to willing to help you with your transition. Also, you can help them with their transition.
Right.
Like we used to do on the bunk. We used to sit on the bunk. You know what I'm saying? Just conversate.
Yeah. That's cool too. Yeah,
cold too. That's the best time. That's the best time to conversate. You know what I'm saying? And what you gonna do when you get out of here, man? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't wait till I get out here, man. Shoot. Stay in touch, man. Let's make this day happen.
That's right.
Stuff like that, man. You know.
So look, man, we're gonna take an intermission real quick. So count clear and yard time. Stay tuned. We right here though.
Put it in, dog, kid. Hey man, we got one for the club right here, bro. We're trying to tell you now. You know what it is. I'ma stay blessed. Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. I'ma do what I do, do what you do. Oh, word on. Do what I do, do what you do. 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 Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. Shout it red, I stay red. Shout it red, I'm blessing on. Cause you made rap North Carolina, next day to break through the airways, worldwide. Shout out J. Cole, rep gonna stay to the fullest, always so proud. So much work going on around here, I unknown talent is gon' ride. Let's sit in the dark, watch and listen to long, been paying our time. It had a bass player, time for trouble, time off blasting our eyes. I tell you, man, the night I seen in Carolina so fly. Country boy made this where I'm born and raised and where I'm gon' ride. Niggas digging my movement, saying big country, man, boy, you is so fly. Got everybody saying country. Why you talk the way you do? Cause I so country. Dirt was back to feel certified. Country. Take my shelf to see the tax. Country. Flows down the lyrics coming straight from down. Still hunting deer, square country, living no drama. See diamonds in the field like Homer. I want the mama. Country girl from cowboy boots and sets the little mama. Do what I do, do what you do. 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 Shout it, that's a slave. Shout it, that's a blessing on the shout it, that's a slave. Shout it, that's a blessing on the shout it, that's a slave. Shout it, that's a blessing on the shout it, that's a slave. Shout it, that's a blessing on the. Certified to the boy, look at my favorite ride, they know my rap just like that. Come up on the hook like a bring me a line of flow, I'm about that's no lie. Keep the water that's smooth, put you in groove, on fire, burn blue, it's on fire. Hit the club for the road, tip, big girl, trick, curve body, saying yeah, my rap. I'll see me as just say, cause man, rap for me real quick, I'm like rap. I'm like, I want you to rap some for me too, laugh into like rap. She say you crazy, I say I'm shady, I'm just that one type of guy. My friend walks in, curious, I say how this shit's nonsense, says I. Country dude, you gotta go, shout it no. Why not? Country can't let my music go. It takes a special one to understand this business though. Time to understand it's all these pieces though. So I stay blessed and keep doing my thing. No time to hit a just and negative going in your brain. Gon' have my fun, enjoy my son, don't care for all the hate things. Love all my fans and fam, so fuck me, country. I'ma do what I do, do what you do, 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 do what I do, do what I'ma show it as a slave, show it as a blessing on the show it as a slave, show it as a blessing on the show it as a slave, show it as a blessing on the show it as a slave, show it as ready. Shorty that's I'm blessing on the shorty that's a slave ready. Shorty that's I'm blessing on the shorty that's a slave ready. Shorty that's I'm blessing on the.
All right, welcome back. Also, bienvenidos. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? What's happening? Wepa. So anyway, so we're gonna get back into it. Code 2 count time. We're back on the bump. So we're gonna get back to it. So let me ask you a question. Like you go in prison, right? Like you have like a they call it institutionalized. You have a setup every day. You know what I'm saying? Like a little practice every day. You know what I'm saying? So like, what can you say that you like took with you when you got out, as far as that?
You know, I when I was out here, I used to get up, you know, when I was out here hustling and stuff like that, I used to get up early in the morning. I took that to prison, right? And at first I stopped doing it because I'm like, I'm slumped, I'm messed up, I done messed up bad. I'm in prison now, you know what I'm saying? Right. I think when I picked that habit back up again, I would get up early in the morning, reading something spiritual, reading something mental, to help me go out through my day. That was one of the things I brought back out here with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it for good now. I get up in the morning, early in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and try to meditate on my day. You know what I'm saying? So that if anything, it don't happen like this all the time. If anything do come across that I didn't like or dislike or bother me, I know how to embrace it. I know how to, I know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, Cause
I know with the Muslims, I know like when I, when you're in, like they had like they prayed, different times during the day.
That's
like that.
one of the things I won't get to that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get up in the morning, I pray, you know what I'm saying? If I don't, I do my rituals, I clean myself, you know what I'm saying? And then when I go to work, if I gotta pray at work, I pray at work, but I'm up 4 o'clock in the morning all the time. I mean, and that's one of the things I took out there, and just trying to deal with an everyday task that's come along and learning how to deal with it, even if something I don't like happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the main things.
Because like one thing you said, like you had said you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like I don't know if people really don't understand, like that's like the best time.
It is.
In prison, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning when everybody's asleep, and you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, at the end of the day, prison is just like the world.
It is.
So people are getting high all the time. They're getting fucked up, whatever. So they party all night. You know what I'm saying? So in the morning, like that 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, that's like your time of like inner peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's quiet. Everybody's asleep. It's like you just like
Yeah, that's the best time for me.
Yeah.
Man. Give me a cup of coffee.
Right.
Some naps, something like that. You can sit there, give me something to read. You know what I'm saying? Or watch the news or whatever. And then when everybody start coming to the door, I leave out. I leave out because now they messing with my peace. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much noise. You know what I'm saying? They doing anything. And I mean, I don't like what they doing, but I just walk out. I speak to everybody. Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Like keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like, what about like as far as like, did you have any kind of like exercises or like did you work out?
Yeah, I love to work out, man. Yeah, I think I worked out so much in prison, man, that my back be killing me now, man. I get up in the morning, I'm squatting all that weight, stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
Man, my back, I love to work out, man. I don't do it much like I did when I was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all you got time.
But what I'm saying is like, what you say, like you used in prison, but like them same like things that we did in prison, we need to bring it back here.
That's true.
To have that, you know what I'm saying?
To have that balance.
Right, to have that balance.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. I still try to work out sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But when you're out here trying to work and trying to make things happen, you got a family, you know what I'm saying? You got jobs, you know what I'm saying? You're doing re-entry work. Yeah. It's hard to make that time. You know what I'm saying? Hard to make that time to get into it.
What about you, man?
Same, really. I think one of the most beneficial things I brought with me was walking it off. Literally,
walking it off. Okay.
Something goes wrong, and I got a lot of my mind is just hitting the yard. That's why you would see me off to myself a lot, just walking, trying to figure it out or whatever. So when life really kicks me around now, you see me, I just take off sometimes, walk around the block, walk a couple miles, and it's healthy. It's exercise. Walking is healthy.
And really, that's dealing with your own demons.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what it is, dealing with your own demons. Right. And we all do. I mean, nobody is clear from that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. I don't care who you are. And I mean, so like we have to deal with ourselves, and we have to deal with our own demons. And like we can't put them on nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question.
Yes,
to ask both of y'all. How was it when you got out to be able to deal with your family members that hasn't been incarcerated? How was it? Just talking to them, trying to get them to understand why you do the things that you do and why you act the way you act and why you think the way you think. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that I have run across that haven't been incarcerated as family members, they don't understand me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't understand why I think the way I think, why I do the stuff I do, why I travel the way I travel. And you be trying to explain. Sometimes it's hard for me to explain it and break it down to them because it seems like they're not going to understand. You know what I'm saying? So why it's hard for me to do it. Have I ever run across that?
Go ahead.
All right, I'll go first. So anyway, like, so what you saying, man? But yeah, you definitely right, man. I'm gonna tell you what it is though. Like what I feel, what it is like. So when you get out and you go around your family, your friends, first thing like we start speaking differently than what they normally know you as.
Right.
Cause see, when you get out of prison, I'm saying 70% of people they become a new person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not everybody do, but most people do. Right. So when you start speaking to them, and it's like, at first I'm like, oh, he went crazy.
Yeah.
Or something wrong with him. Or, I had that too when I got out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he changed his name. What's going on? Is he Muslim? Was he, you know what I'm saying? They started like just coming up with stuff. So like, I had learned like to understand like, at the end of the day, they've been in the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was taken out of the world.
Yeah. And
we really got to know ourselves.
Yeah.
And we learned like who we are, what our purpose is.
Yeah.
And we reform to it. You see what I'm saying? So when you reform to something different, the people that you knew are not gonna know how to like perceive it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where the conflict come in. That because like you get spiritually discerned when you come in there, and when you like people out in the world, they're not focused on stuff like that. People don't read no more. People don't. The things we did at that, people don't do that. You see what I'm saying? Like we used to read, we used to like work out. We like I said, we had time to ourselves, like deal with our own selves and everything. Right. Like people don't have time to do that out here. So when you come out different like that, it's like they can't perceive it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yo, you killed that. It's hard to follow that. You're absolutely right. I will say this much. I give people, family, friends, all the above that have never been incarcerated, I give them a certain sort of empathy. And why I say that is because also when we're coming out, they've been free, we haven't. So their mind state, their way of looking at things, their way of doing things is foreign to us too. Right. Remember when you first came home, how awkward it was to just even go around anybody. Yeah. Even us, even me and Will, and you know me and Will good. You've been on past me and Will, but when you go from actually being incarcerated to being free to having all of these different things on your shoulder and you in your head yourself about people around you, because you might be thinking like everybody's looking at you a certain way, and in certain circles people are, because they know, man, he was been gone 30 years. Yeah. They want to ask you a million questions on the low. Yeah. So long story short, I just try to look at it from both ends. You know what I'm saying? I know it's awkward having those conversations, and I felt like sometimes they just don't understand or get where I'm coming from. Right. But I gotta check myself in a sense and say, well, maybe I'm just not understanding where they coming from. Because again, they looking at it from a whole different perspective too. Right. But everything else, what you said and what both y'all said is spot on, man.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just that it's sometimes it's hard to break it down to people. Right. Especially family members that haven't been there to understand why you might think like this right here. Because you see something different. You ain't thinking like you used to think. You're not thinking like you was when you was in the streets. Right. Now you're thinking on a higher level. Not saying they down here, you up here, but you expect, right?
So I don't think people really like quite understand the gist of it. Like once you go to prison, like your life is over. You are their property. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Your name is non-existent anymore. You're a number. You know what I'm saying? So like to go through that and like to like really be alone. It's like somebody that's going out in the wilderness by themselves and just dealing with nature for like 7 years or 29 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I don't think people that never been there don't get the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? Like how real it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't. I mean, you got somebody telling you when to do everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do nothing on your own. You know what I'm saying? You like I said, you're their property. So.
I was gonna say that's why I like how you always speak of it as like a spiritual thing.
Right.
It's like reborn.
Being reborn, man. Like the person that you were, it's gonna die in there. Yeah, it's gonna die.
Yeah, because but Michael May said that the penitentiary, if you look at it like this, penitentiary is a university.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
Spiritual counseling.
You could be a spiritual university. You know what I'm saying? It could be a mental university. But when you go to prison, it's a way that you're supposed to start working on yourself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But some people just go to prison, they get to gambling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The same habits.
Yeah,
Because
same
like I
habits.
say, like prison, shit, packs come in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, that
Yeah.
shit coming in like that.
Yeah.
It's just like the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got like a little theory. Tell me if y'all agree or disagree. But anybody that goes to prison, I think they're either gonna go in and they're gonna come out better,
Right.
they're gonna come out worse, or even as close to worse, come out the same way they went in.
Yeah.
And it's only one, and those are the only
You know what?
outcomes. Or and it's one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Or don't come out at all.
Right. That's what I was about to say,
Yeah.
because most people don't make it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And not only just physically,
Mentally, right.
It's
Both
crazy
ends,
that
right.
you said that because it was a guy that was in prison when I used to go to the library at OCC, Orange Correctional Facility. And his name was DJ. You know, I want to say his name because I want to give him a shout out. He passed away though. I'm not gonna get to that.
Mhm.
And man knew 7 different languages. You know what I'm saying? He was teaching me Spanish. There used to be a group of us in there, man. And, he was fighting to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? There were certain days I used to tell DJ when I got my map. Before I got my map, I was on the way getting my map to get out of prison. And I should tell him what he needed to do. And then first day he would never do what we asked him to do because his mindset was still institutionalized to the prison system. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I'm gonna do it like this. I'm saying it don't work like that no more, homeboy.
Right.
It don't work like that. They don't want to hear that right there.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He ended up passing away. You know what I'm saying? About 2-3 weeks ago, he passed away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you're right. Someone won't get out.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I said, a lot of shit go on that most people don't hear about, don't know about, but shit go down.
They do.
Like people die daily. I mean, I'm pretty sure daily
Yeah.
within the prisons. You know what I'm
Somebody
saying?
just died at
Yeah.
CP not too long
Right.
ago.
You
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So like what he was saying is like, and I agree, but I feel like this. I feel like either you're gonna be better or you're gonna be worse. There ain't no in between. I feel like it's no in between.
Let me ask you this too. I want to ask you another question. I was just saying this not too long ago with some people I was talking to. Do you believe that this is the person that you're supposed to be now?
100%.
Because this is why I asked that question. Because when we was out here before we get with the prison, before we start changing our life and stuff like that, we live by this type of code, street code, which we still do to a degree, but we do it more positively now. It ain't a negative no more with the code we use now.
Right.
So with that said, like I'm saying this to say this right here. When we was in the street, we did a lot of crazy stuff out in the streets. And we felt like at that time that that's who we were. Whether you rob, steal, stole drugs, whatever it may be. But you went to prison, you changed your life around. And now you're a new person. So I feel like if I was that person I was back then, that's who I was supposed to be. But I realize, this is how I look at it. I realized that this is the person I'm supposed to be right here.
Yeah.
Because I remember me looking in the mirror and saying, I hate you, man. I hate who you are, man. Is this you? Is this who you're really supposed to be? Talking to yourself while I'm in prison. You can't really see the mirror because you know how to have
Yeah, because they're all faded.
They're all faded.
At least you go to mental custody. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying to myself, I hate you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I started changing my life, right? That's another part of me changing my life. And I said, Dad, I don't change my life. I'm working on myself every day. This is who I'm supposed to be. I wasn't supposed to be that person right there.
Right.
Right.
I feel the same way.
Absolutely.
And I ad-lib on that. Like what you said was perfect on spot. And I didn't even go a little further because, like I told you before, like we was allowed to go through what we went through for that purpose.
For that purpose.
You know what I'm saying? Because like people that go to prison, like I said, they are very talented, educated people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that. So once they get in there, and like I said, they can go the good way. Man, they gonna take over. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna take over, bro.
Yeah, they gonna take over.
Take over, man.
What do you feel?
I mean, y'all killing it, man. I can't. It's hard to ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Intermission break. Count clear. We'll be right back.
I love the theme. Boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna recap all those ways.
Dark Keys, Country Lane, back in this thing, you know what time it is, 2014, y'all. Switching the game up like yo.
Hey, we just killed it, right?
Inspiration time. Sit back, get your groove on, relax. Cause you know what? We gon' shine, we gon' shine, we gon' shine, we gon' shine, we gon' shine. but you can't fall. Stand up 2 feet, moving forward, standing tall. Decisions we make can hurt or harm us. You gotta live your life like you're older. Let the past be the past. Forgive even when you're mad. Can't control what you never had. Apologize when you're bad. Stress is the #1 killer. Temptation just makes your life go thriller. Respect goes a long way in this thriller. Loyalty is hard to find, so go figure. The reason why the divorce rate is so much bigger. Young cats, all racial, call me just a ninja. Living life, doing it in the time, and it's never. Folks need to start looking themselves in the mirror. Stop blaming it on someone else when it's them. Put problems on social media when it should be raising him. We gon' shine, 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 we gon' shine. Back in the day, it was all about family. Now it's about the ones we look up to the most highly. The ones cutting your throat, in your face smiling. Telling them what you wanna hear, the blind leading the blind lead. Real fans tell you what you need to hear, not what you wanna hear with no fear. For some reason, they're the ones we run away because of the truth they say, like they did in the May, until we finally realize the truth that they said. The government crooked ain't hard to tell. From assassination, diseases, and drugs, to making it look cool to wanna be a thug. A lot of things have been swept up under the rug. Truth will come out when Jesus returns to the world. A generation you got boys acting like gold. Good is bad, bad is good. So much future in this world. We gon' shine, 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 we gon' shine. Gotta have faith when all is going wrong. Life is too precious to be worried about it all. I'm trying to tell y'all, a storm will never last forever. It's only a test from God. Rebuke the devil, must love more than you hate. Just think about the consequences that's in stake. Regardless of your past, just leave it in the past. Life is too short to be remembering what you had. But I know the truth is real, and I know the change gon' heal. But I know he real, and I know it won't be no bills. So get right, hold tight. He coming like a thief in the night. So get right, hold tight. He coming like a thief in the night. We gon' shine, 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 we gon' shine. Hey folks, try to wake up out there, baby. There's a lot going on in this world today, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you gotta keep faith. Hold it down, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get through this thing. Dark Keys, Country Man. What's up? Hey, it's been a long time, but you know, it's more coming from here. And ain't stopping from here. Just like the drum beat.
YouTube, this is my shit. Leave me the fuck alone. Nah, we good. But anyway, so we back. Code 2 again, back on the bump.
Back on the bump.
Back on the bump.
Count
So,
is clear.
count is clear. So, you know, this is recap time right here. So we're gonna like, you know what I'm saying, like, we actually have somebody in the audience. I want to know if she has any questions, you know what I'm saying, to ask us.
And he caught her with a mouthful of chips.
Yeah, I know, right? She eat. Like, give her 1 second. Give her 1 second.
Wow.
Like, is there anything you want to know? Like, elaborate more on something else you want to know about, you know, being in prison.
Yes, actually, when you guys said you came to that moment when you decided like, okay, I have to do something, I have to make a change.
Mhm.
What were some of the things like in the beginning that you did to try to implement, like, you know, implement that change? Like, I mean, I know you went through some trials and errors. You had to. No, it didn't just come right to you. But.
Good question.
Good question. You want to start this, Scotso?
I started off.
Okay.
You know, it's funny because when I went to prison, right, I used to smoke cigarettes, right? And I feel like that's a part of change too. You know what I mean? So that was one of the things I smoked, and I smoked weed with it because I tried to cope with what was going on. I had a Class C life sentence. I didn't know how to cope with it. You know what I mean? So I smoked weed too, right? I stopped smoking weed just like that. I stopped smoking cigarettes just like that. You know what I'm saying? I started reading more educational books. You know what I'm saying? That's part of me implementing stuff in my life to help me change. You know what I mean? So then I just, you know, gradually I just started, you know, peeling stuff off, just peeling it off little by little, little by little. And then, you know, I'm here. This is the new me now. You know how you see that transform? You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I did.
Right. Yeah. That's real. It's real. Yeah.
And I'm here now. You know what I mean? This is who I am.
So I say like this, like what she said, like things I did implement, like playing cards and stuff like that. You know, gambling. Like I used to do that. You know what I'm saying? Before I went in, and I knew like that's one thing I had to cut out because I already know myself.
Yeah.
So I already know like it ain't gonna turn out good. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I try to cut out. Then also like I try to change my eating habits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
And, even though they don't have the best food there, you know what I'm saying? But you can kind of work with it to try to make it the best for you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And also just learn learning myself, like not being so hot tempered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta have patience in there, man. Because people are gonna irk you. People are gonna fuck with you. They gonna what I'm saying? They gonna try to do anything to make you outside of who you are. You know what I'm saying? So that was the main things that I really worked on when I first got here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's great. That's part of what I did too.
Yeah. Same for me. I identified little things that used to get me in situations that I need to stay away from. One, keeping my attitude in check, staying away from the BS. I even had to do little things like, as much as I love to play basketball, right?
That's what I did too. Yeah, I stopped. Yeah, I played when I first got in. I played 1 or 2 games. And I said, you know what? I can't do this. Cause I already know myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm being you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I learned that lesson the hard way. I kept playing, And with anything that I do, I'm very competitive. Right. I talk junk. Whether I'm on the game, whether we play cards, I talk junk. And so even with basketball, and I know this on the yard, guys don't like that. Especially if you play all right. You talk junk. Yeah, and it always ended bad, like you say.
Yeah.
Or 9 times out of 10 it ended bad. And then it's man, I'm telling you, I haven't been in that many fights on stage, but it seemed like everyone I got into was on the basketball court.
Right.
So I thought, wow, I cut that out.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on and on, but I didn't want to take up the whole time. I changed a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. Because it's funny that y'all said something about dealing with individuals. I used to hate, man, because the bumps are so close.
Right.
The bump right here, the bump right here.
It's supposed to be what? How many? 6 feet?
Yeah, but it's 6 feet.
No, I'm telling you, literally 2 feet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I can stretch my arms out. I'm touching both bumps.
Yeah, exactly. And then I hate when a guy sleeps next to you like to fart. Don't say excuse me.
Or snoring.
I do that now.
Well, no. I'm telling you the worst. When you got 2 bunkmates that talk all night. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst, man. Cause you be trying to sleep and you hear them talking, laughing. I'm like, man, come on, man. But again, you can depending on where you at. Yeah. It's respect, and then it's motherfuckers just won't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's what helped me with my patience. That's why I'm so patient now. My wife says all the time. She said, you're patient, you're humble, but she said, but you humble as a fault. You know what I'm saying? You too humble. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta, how she said, you gotta let them know, you gotta let the person know what it is, you gotta let the person know what it is when it is. But it's a way, I keep saying to it's a way you do things. Right.
It's gotta be a balance.
It gotta be a balance.
Yeah, it's gotta be a balance. Can't be too much this, can't be too much that. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be a.
In Islam, we call that extremists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be extremists. I want to take the middle course. Yeah. You know what I mean? I take the middle course. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by the middle course is I try to go look at the situation for what it really is and just say, okay, how am I dealing with this situation? You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, you know, you gotta think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Prison make you think because you know that if you deal with a situation in some type of way and it ain't the right way, either gonna be some stabbing going on or some fighting going on.
Yeah.
But you trying to get out of prison though.
Trying to get out, yeah. Cause that was my thing, like my scariest fear was like doing something to somebody I get more time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was my worst fear, you know what I'm saying? Cause being my size going in there, I'm a target, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, and the way I am, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like I had to learn how to like he said, walk away or stay out the way. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I took that out here. I stay away, I stay out the way. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I tell my wife I don't mind staying home.
Right.
Ain't nothing really out there for me. She be saying, go outside, go with your friends, go have some fun. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I go home. When I leave here, I'm going straight home. You know what I'm saying? So, we go set up to that place. Go set up. I'm going straight home.
Hey, look, I use this right here. When somebody talk crazy or something, give me do some crazy, I'm like, oh, cold one, I gotta go to my destination. I gotta go home. Cold one, I gotta go to my destination right there. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But yeah, so Miles, you got any more questions? You got? No. All right, so now I'm gonna let you get into like. So let me ask you like, what have you like? What's your accomplishments since you've been out? Thus far.
Man, I mean, phew, I got a whole lot of them, man. All praise due to Allah. I got my peer support certification since I've been out. I'm also a community health worker. I work for an organization called STSG. It's a transitional house for guys that's come out of incarceration. And we house guys and also give them the resources that they need to be able to reacclimate back to society. I also work for Tommy Green. You know, so he's also my boss as well. We call SWIT. Successful transition, and what we do is the same thing, similar to what we do in what I do in SCSG, transition house. Just we don't house. This we do house guys in Hillsborough, North Carolina. I'm sorry, and we also help guys with resources that they need to be able to reacclimate, whether it be ID, license, going to see their parole officer, stipends for food stamps and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because time work for fit. So it's like a no-win. It's like a win-win situation because you at SWIT and you also getting stipends from the guy that housed you. So you can't lose. You know what I'm saying? I work for a youth program called RSN. RSN stands for Reintegration Network Support System. And what we do is we help youths that's kind of like in trouble with the law a little bit, but they're not really in trouble with the law. You know what I'm saying?
It's before they like get in the system.
Exactly. Before they get in the system. What we try to do is we try to catch them. You know what I'm saying? Work with them, mentor them, help them to understand life on life terms, and what's the situation that got us in prison. What could help them not go the same route that we went.
Right.
I'm also a second chance employer called CBL. We hire guys that's coming out of incarceration, also women that's coming out of incarceration. We got a big event tomorrow. It's a big re-entry.
Yep.
Get a date too.
Okay, Tommy can explain a little bit more because he's looking it up now. I know we gotta set it up. We have to set it up today for that get our table right. And we got brochures and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. Oh, also co-owner of an organization called Wounded Healers of North Carolina. What we do is basically the same thing, man. We out here doing re-entry work.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we out here doing. We out here, we in the community.
I respect that, man. I respect that.
We in the community, man. We trying to help brothers and sisters that's coming out.
Because I'm gonna tell you something, like when I was in there, you hear people all the time, when I get out, I'm gonna expose this, I'm gonna expose that, I'm gonna let people know what's really going on in there. And then once they get out, they forget. You know what I mean? And I'm not shaming nobody or trying to but at the end of the day, it's like we need people that's been in there to come out and give back. You know what I'm saying?
Man, because
it's important, man. Cause we gotta think about it when we was in there. You know what I mean?
That's what made me look at it.
Right.
That's what made me look at it.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you see people like you and Tommy, they come back and talk. Man, it's like it's like an uplifting. I can't explain. You know what I'm saying? Because you get hope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's good to
And that event will be at tomorrow's the 2024 NC Rehabilitation and Reentry Conference.
When is this?
Tomorrow from Monday to Wednesday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's what? April 22nd.
22nd. Yeah.
Yeah.
22nd.
So April 22nd
to the 24th.
Yeah.
To the 24th.
It's a big event.
We're gonna have
Y'all
the
have-
table CBL, community-based landscaping,
Yeah.
successful in transition, and who else will we work?
Oh.
Wounded Healers.
Yeah.
We'll all be in the building.
And
Yeah.
if anyone is looking at this that know anything about these events that's coming up, please support, help, because we cannot do it without you guys. We can't. I mean,
That's real.
it's hard.
That's real.
We doing everything ourselves, and it's hard to be able to do everything ourselves. And we need a massive of people
Right,
to be able
right.
to help people.
Takes a village.
It takes a village,
Right,
man.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
We need help. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So
I know everybody has known of had family members that have been down. So I mean, like, you got to just put yourself in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? And like, we just want to give back and help the cause because it's a positive thing and it's gonna it can save lives. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
it can
it's
save
about.
lives.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
it's
can
about,
save
man.
lives.
That's what it's
So let me
about.
ask you this before we close out. What advice would you give to somebody that has just gotten out? You know, even having your time or whatever his time or my time, like just getting out and like feel like they lost. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you asked that question, man, because first of all, I would say take your time. I mean, ain't no sense trying to rush, because I noticed that a lot of people that's rushing always crash. You know what I'm saying? And stick around people that's willing to help you be successful. You know what I mean? I know that sometimes it's hard to really find that person that you can really connect to, but believe me, it's out there. People's out there. You know what I'm saying? We mentor people every day, and I was just talking to a guy not too long ago, and I heard in his speech how he's rushing, trying to put the pieces in place, right? And I was just listening to him, and then me and another individual, we talked about it, and he asked me, "What do you think about the conversation?" I said, "He's rushing." You know what I'm saying? You can't rush. You can't. You just can't. Let's take your time. You know what I mean? What's going to be, going to be. A lot of people try to rush because they feel like they don't have tomorrow.
Right.
But you do have tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? If it's not meant for you to have tomorrow, then you just not going to have it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But don't rush, because if you do try to rush, you're going to crash.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to crash.
Right. My advice would be don't try to do it alone.
That's a good
There's
one.
a lot of support.
That's a
out
good
there.
one.
If your family if you can't find help with your family structure, Google, seek reentry. Reentry is a big thing.
And
right
shout out
now.
your businesses too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely look up Successful in Transition.
Transition.
You can check out our website at successfulintransition.org. And like Scotso said, we do the groundwork, man. We help people get connected. It's based off of 21 principles that me and my business partner William Elmore created to really teach guys the steps that guys like us took to be successful in our reentry. And again, like I said, man, seek these organizations in North Carolina that's doing things. FID, the Formerly Incarcerated Transition Program, another great organization that I represent. They help guys get connected to free healthcare that are formerly incarcerated. That's a must. You know, healthcare, not healthcare in particular. Access to healthcare is one of the biggest social determinants of health in our community. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that. All in your area, most areas in North Carolina have local reentry councils. Those are the organizations that kind of like house anything dealing with reentry in your area. So if you coming home to a county or you in a county that has a local reentry council, definitely sign up for them, get all the services you can from them. And of course, your social services office. That's a one-stop shop for anybody that's trying to get on their feet. You just fresh to get home, you don't got a direction, you feel lost, go to your nearest social services office. Sign up for any type of service they say, a felon, a person that's homeless, a person coming home, whatever criteria you meet, they can help you get connected to whatever services you qualify for.
Hey man, you said it all right there. Like take heed of that. And,
I've been doing this a long time, y'all.
Yeah. And I'll say for myself, like I'm proud of both of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Appreciate it.
especially
We proud of you,
this
man.
guy, man. You know what I'm saying?
We proud of you too, man. I mean, look what
appreciate
you're
it.
trying to do. You never know who you touch just
Right.
through your program, through your YouTube thing.
Right,
You never know
right,
who you want to touch, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a wonderful thing. That's what we're doing here now is peer support.
True. Right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing
Yeah.
now. We peer,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
we are reaching out right now. to
What was
people
that
need
class everybody had to take? What was it?
HRD?
No, it's
Thank for a change?
yeah, thank you for change.
Yeah.
Like I would say this is kind of like a thank you for a change. You know,
Yes.
you're outside the box. You know what I'm
Outside
saying?
the box.
And one thing you said too that hit patience, man. Like
Yeah.
I had to learn that when I first got out.
Yeah.
I'm the most recent out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like when I first got out, that patience was like, cause I wanted to do this, I wanted to do this and do that.
Yeah.
But someone tell me like, sit down.
Yeah, man.
Like you just got out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You got to compliment yourself to society. Then first of all, then you got to like just be easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, be easy. And things gonna come when they supposed to come. You know what I'm saying? And
you know what? And I'm not trying to take over the show.
No, you good.
I'm
You
gonna say
good.
this right here.
You good.
My wife tells me all the time. She said, like when you go to restaurants, she said you very impatient.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm patient with the things that I know that's, and I know I'm kind of wrong for this, but I'm patient for the things that I feel like, that I feel like is more important. Being at a restaurant is not really that important to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's important being there with her, but just to have to wait there just to get something to eat.
Yeah,
that's not important. That's not important to me. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's important to me just being there with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. That's why I'm not. And maybe I need to work on that. You know what I'm saying? I need to work on that because she said I'm not patient. You know what I'm saying when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's food. We could go to another restaurant right down the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, that's the part I was asking y'all because sometimes people just don't understand why I think the way I think.
Right.
And why I do the way I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Like I said, like until you meet an individual that has done their own shadow work, they won't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's just like once you go through that, it's like somebody that has it can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Because they can't even fathom like being in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, and then second of all, like I said, once you go through that process, like I said, you die, you be reborn, and you be who you supposed to be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I say this to and I'm gonna shut up. She has been a great support, you know, say in my transition as well. She she tries her best to because I look at being out here as a new world order. Because before we went in,
right?
You know, we put money in shoe boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's credit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about that stuff.
Right.
So she's been my biggest supporter when it comes to different things that I try to uplift myself with that is so hard for me to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? So she's been my big, and I thank her for that. You know what I'm saying? But we argue all the time when it comes to different things because I think the way I think because I've been in there. You know what I'm saying? Just bear with me a little bit.
Right.
That's all I ask. Bear with me a little bit. We figure this thing out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I thank you for having me though.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah,
It's an honor. You hear me?
It's good seeing you too, bro.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Always.
And before I wrap this up, do you have anything that you want to?
No, just successfullintransition.org.
Yep. And
Visit
Woody
the site.
Hills of North Carolina.
NC Woody Hills.
NC, yep, North Carolina.
And I appreciate all y'all lives, you know what I'm saying, that's watching, whatever, supporting. I appreciate it. I know I leave my podcast, leaving my positive note, so I'll say, go out nation, hug a tree. Mm-hmm. That is our life source, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like charging your phone though, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you hug that tree, that's our physical life. So it's gonna charge you up immediately, you know what I'm saying? Also exercise at least 30 minutes a day, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's just running or jumping jacks, push-ups, whatever. Just do something 30 minutes a day. Fast is important. And it don't necessarily have to be food. It could be anything that you have a problem with. And what you do, how you replace it is you replace it with reading the word of whatever you study.
That's right.
Replace it with that. That's important. At least 7 days. Also, anything else you want to add with that?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, good. All right. So again, Queens, Kings, Knights, Justice, Nobles. I appreciate y'all joining us on the 7th episode of Outside the Box with Seth Siyon. Count time, code 2. Hey man, that was a good one.
It gets no better than DK World Music. Exclusive.
Before you go live, okay. So this
Yeah. Don't worry about what I do, 'cause I make my own rules. So do you ain't worry about you. Live it up, go do your thing. Person, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. Live it up, go do your thing. Person, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. part. Done a lot of work, a lot of different jobs. Done been out in the streets and hung with the mob. Living life super fast like you know the mall. Left it being done and always praying for the mall. Had money, problems, solved problems, had to ball. Wouldn't be the man I am today if it wasn't for sorrow. Bad experience with the law, late night horror. Always been a leader, everything, never follow. Been in bad relationships and happy had to holler. Focus on my career, family, mind on the dollars. Ain't studying traffic women just cause it's more problems. Gon' do it with no setbacks, no extra drama. Live it up, gon' do your thing. Work something, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. Live it up, gon' do your thing. Work something, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. Whatever you do, someone hates on you and disrespectful and rude to you. This what you tell them. Don't worry about what I do, 'cause I make my own rules. So do you ain't worry about you. I'll come around, I'm having fun, enjoying the sun, representing where I'm from. When your money set, go ahead, blow the gun. Country made on the run, Charlotte on up to bun. Up and down to done, country made never done. Party with late night and Raleigh, so much fun. See the finest women, Southern Bells, country song. North Cat, love my home, come and catch a song. Carolina blue, taught her country Southern love. Live it up, go and do your thing. Work something, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. Live it up, go and do your thing. Work something, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. Enjoy your life, live it up, be on the gap, don't let nobody put you down, 'cause they ain't got one. Long as you know reality, have fun. Laugh at hated cause they had none. Live for the present, not the future, take adventures. Get close with family, true friends, take some pictures. Gotta love yourself, it's no matter who with you. 'Cause the end is only you that's gonna be with you. Your lover tripping 'cause you wanna hit the club. Your lover gon' trip when you have a lot of fun. If it wasn't meant to be, you wouldn't hit it, dig it. Every time lost when you could been through, you would get it. Just keep it real, too far sometimes hitting it. Somebody gotta tell it though, I'm just spitting it. Most think I'm cocky, arrogant, about look. Don't need nobody judging me, only God judging me. Live it up, come on, do your thing. Work something, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. Live it up, come on, do your thing. Work something, don't be ashamed. Better than you, no one better than you. What do you do when someone hates on you and disrespectful and rude to you? Alright, listen, this is what you tell them. Don't worry about what I do, 'cause I make my own rules. So do